We got some work to do now. We can count on you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Too Much Geek Talk. We're gonna run through the last two episodes of Mandalorian. We're putting in its own thing because obviously it needs its. We usually tack it on to Geekly Weekly, but this needs its own thing. Maybe that's what we do with every season of anything we're going to talk about on this channel. Is the first episode gets its own episode, and then it's tacked on into the back of the weekly, and then it goes on to its own thing because obviously season premieres and season finals are obviously the biggest ones.
Chef's kiss.
So for 7, let's just run through this real quick because we don't need to talk a lot about this.
Yeah,
kind of a filler episode, yeah.
But more action packed filler than you would expect, which is I think they had to. They didn't have to do it, but I think Bill Burr has that comedic drive, so it's never boring when he has his one line and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
he was funny from the get go. So it was just like, he's scared to see Mando again. Well, he was, I thought you were somebody else that I knew. Like, who else in a Mandalorian outfit? And then he sees Mando. I was like, it's so funny. We call him Mando, even though that's not his name. But we for sure say it's Grogu. No, from here on out, no more Baby Yoda.
yeah.
I'm gonna start calling him Din. I guess I give him his respect that he deserves.
After what's happened so far, Din gets our
he
respect.
deserves that. Yeah, and that was the quickest prison break. She went in, got him, was like, all right, let's go. Like,
I was expecting like a whole episode just on that, but
yeah, or like a more like
it shows that she has that pull now. She has the power to do stuff like that.
I mean, she used to be a trooper too, so in the Rebels back in the day. So
that's true.
That's awesome. And yeah, just seeing technically it's a heist, you could kind of say too, or it's not a heist.
There's some Rogue One feels in there somewhere.
Yeah. You got to go undercover. They have to knock out a couple stormtroopers and put on their costumes, which was funny to see a Mandalorian and stormtrooper outfit, because it's like that's kind of where they got the. Because they made stormtrooper outfits based off the Mandalorian armor because of Jango Fett.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's why it's kind of funny to see him.
Yeah,
and cheaper type of armor, and it was funny too because like when the pirates came in that episode and he was fighting them, I was like, I bet you wish you had that. best.
This was a theory brought up there, is that those pirates were actually there to stop the Empire, so it was almost like they were fighting people fighting the Empire.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
And it's weird that you have to do that for your mission, but it's almost like you're fighting for the bad guys right now, which is just so odd.
Yeah, I guess they were, but like they had to. So that ship would have either blown up, or they would have been able to get the transmission code. So it's like we're gonna have to kick some ass. Like and when he threw the grenade, that one guy saw it, and like the blast came up. I was like, oof, okay.
Yeah, it was good. But
they kicked ass, obviously. And
then we get in there. Bill Burr's character, he can't go in with his mask off because his former boss is in there.
Was that Freddy Krueger?
That was not Freddy Krueger. He was he's the only movie I know him from, and I was like, where do I know this guy from? And I had to look it up. He's from a movie called 31, which is one of Rob Zombie's movies. And he plays like one of the best serial killers out in the United States in that movie, and he has that just creepy like
he looked like
Empire look to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would do some shit just because. Like,
and then, but I want to talk about Jin taking off his mask, obviously.
Yeah,
and he does it once a season at this point.
I think they're gonna have to, just to show who's behind that, just so he can get his money. You know what I mean? Because he's in the suit all the time, but the face is the moneymaker. It's so crazy because he plays like you can read so much emotion from his helmet as much as when he takes it off, and I think I don't know like how they do that. Like I don't know if that's the cam work or if that's the actor feeling it.
I think it's the actor. I think Pedro's just that crazy. But
because when he took that helmet off, you saw the determination.
I want to know why is he in the Empire's face directory?
But I don't know. I don't even know if it's like that. It's like I don't know. Maybe the planet he was at, maybe the Empire just attacked them with drones. I don't know. To blame it on the rebels, and then he got found. I don't know.
because he's
Not the
obviously,
fingers,
it's
but,
kind of like your fingerprints, you know, like
that. But see that okay, then now that's one of the biggest flaws in Star Wars. Why is like such a high level class like thing that wasn't it only meant for officers too? Anyways, like he
yeah,
just goes up, does it real quick. They're like, hey, and he's just like, oh, hey, what's up? Like the
yeah,
guy
it
doesn't
was
even ask
super
like, what are you
quick and
doing?
just whatever.
But
Then the creepy interaction there, which was just amazing. It was
daunting,
so
yeah.
good.
And that's what I love about Star Wars, the darkness that these people, the depths of darkness they go through. And
Yeah,
then Bill Burr, you know,
Bill Burr being Bill Burr.
had
I
to pull
mean,
out that Han Solo.
amazing Bill Burr. I mean, for somebody who is very open for not really giving a shit about Star Wars, I mean, this
Yeah.
guy can make an episode of this thing. I mean, he's
And
amazing.
I think Star Wars now has his respect, or other way around.
Oh
After he
yeah,
got
I
quit
mean,
you know what I mean.
it's
And
great,
after
but
that, I'm pretty sure he's like, okay, I love these fans. I see why
yeah,
these motherfuckers are nerds. Like,
like honestly, if he
see
got
why
his
they
own,
cranking
if
the
he
fans
got
up.
his own Star Wars runoff show, I'd be
Mm,
down for it.
like a 4 episode sketch, that'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be so good. I would definitely watch that. Some kind of like short little thing, or
Yeah.
even like a little like short film of him would be great.
Yeah, it's just goofing around in prison and talking shit. Like, hey, I know a Mandalorian without his. I've seen a Mandalorian without his helmet, type shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I like how they
technically.
just left him on that planet too. Like, they didn't give
Oh
a fuck.
yeah, like yeah, you figure your own way. I mean, I guess they
Mhm.
figure he's an ex-criminal, so he can
That's
figure
true. That's
figure
true.
something out.
That's true. That
But
seismic charge too. I was like, oh,
I feel like Kara, she's keeping tabs on him.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
Like she's
She probably
always gonna know where he's at, and he might
fuck up
be needed. He might be needed again.
again.
So
Yeah,
I think we'll see Bill again.
season 3.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then we get the most. I wish I knew the line like by verbatim when Taken when he's calls. If I don't know who you are, I don't know what you doing. I have a
I have a
particular
certain
set of
skills.
Yeah. And I know how
Mando
to use them
calls
or
up
some
Moff,
bullshit. Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, man,
that kid means
I'm
more.
coming, I'm coming from that baby, yo."
You know what's funny? For season 1, Goff Moff Gideon
Hmm.
says it's more important to me than you know, and then Din says he's more important to me than you ever know. So it's like
Yeah,
he says the
that's
same
pretty
thing, but
interesting.
that dialect of calling it or a he, it's
Hmm.
like oof, the cares. The we've been watching a story about a stepdad, I guess you could say, taking
Yeah,
care of his kids. Like
exactly, and
making
it's
sure that
great.
little bastard gets his
It's great.
education.
I mean, sure that little bastard gets his education. That was a good one.
Like,
That was a good one.
fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty powerful scene there when he's calling
Yeah,
Moff Gideon. It
yeah.
was really good. It
Behind the
was very well
mask
done.
too,
Yeah,
like feel the emotion, the
yeah.
seriousness. You saw the eyebrow go up when he said it.
Come in for that
Like,
fucking baby.
like top rope, baby. Like,
Uh,
oh fuck.
but
But
then
then
what's next off that?
that's it. We're going to season or episode 8.
Episode 8, which buckle up,
Mm.
buckle up. I
I want to
mean,
get to the end so fast, but we'll slowly
immediately. I'll say immediately after finishing it, I think most people did what I did.
What did you do?
Just call their best friend and talk about it,
Ah,
and then
yeah.
right after that,
No,
go
wait,
sit
wait,
down
wait.
and watch it again.
Even before that, my ass texted you at 4 a.m. because that's when I watched it. Because for some reason my internet was giving me problems. The Disney Channel it didn't upload, so I waited up because I was like, "This is the last episode. I can't not watch it."
Here's
so
the thing. Okay, so I woke up at like
Yeah,
3 o'clock in the morning. I can't watch it until my girlfriend gets home to watch it. It's just this is the
Sacred
one
rules.
time I almost did it without. But I woke up at like 2 in the morning, couldn't go back to sleep. I'm on Reddit. I can't click on anything on Reddit because it is just a minefield already at 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday morning. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
damn,
bad
dude,
news.
this is gonna be a long day. I just came to my computer and played video games until it was time to watch it, and then saw the most amazing. This is now the
Like,
most amazing thing in Star Wars.
yes,
Rogue One was it for me. Rogue
yes,
One was the
yes,
greatest thing in Star Wars. This
yes,
right here was the greatest
yes.
thing in Star Wars.
Dude, it was just, it's what, I don't know, it's what made Star Wars, it's what makes Star Wars fucking awesome. And like, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like when I saw that episode as a 26-year-old man, I felt like a, 8-year-old kid again watching Star Wars for the first time type
Right,
shit. Like
right,
it was
yeah,
just very, it was like, and it was more in depth too, obviously, because we know what's going on and stuff like that. But like I just feel like the whole rescue of it was just phenomenal. Like how,
amazing.
they go and kidnap the doctor, and the doctor, which I was, when they said that he was a clone doctor, I was very surprised to hear about that. So I was like, kind of makes me think, is
Mm.
Grogu a clone, or what is he doing with Grogu's blood?
Or are
To make
they?
more
I think they're
clones.
using the blood to clone Grogu.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Now, a lot of
I think
people are
they're
saying
trying to
that's
clone Jedi's.
a lot of people said that's what's connected to Snoke, but I don't know how that is because Palpatine controlled Snoke.
Oh.
So, but I
Well,
guess
maybe
what's
Palpatine's behind all of this. We don't know.
well, obviously he is. He had his big ass plan, but I think what happened is that Snoke, he's controlling Snoke, but Snoke has the power from the blood of Grogu, and that's how he's able to,
That's
you
a good.
know,
That's a good
maybe
point.
that's why he wasn't
He's
able
got.
to
He's got
see the midichlorian in his
metachlorine
blood, so
from
he
his
can move
blood.
the Force. So I
So
don't know. That was just a
that
fan
could
theory,
be.
but
That's a pretty good one.
yeah, I don't know.
Although, okay, well, we'll get closer to
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
that fan theory.
Yeah, and then when
Um,
the doctor, yeah, I'm just going on because we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about this
Obviously, let's start from the very beginning on this one.
yes, and then they get the doctor. Doctor was helping them. But we forgot to mention
Dude,
too. Boba Fett got a
oh, hold
paint
on,
job, and I
hold
love
on,
it.
hold
Get
on,
that
hold on.
paint.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That,
I forgot.
oh.
Hey, we gotta save this baby Grogu, but first let me go get a paint job real quick. I
Like
mean, I guess maybe he
fresh.
had that stuff on the
Yeah,
ship, or I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it looked sick. He had to get
I
dressed
loved
up
it.
for a little something later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
bow tie on.
but what I loved when they're talking to the doctor is when they first go in there and that guy is trying to get under
Oh,
Kara's
oh,
skin.
oh
That
my
is some of the
god.
best dialogue I've ever seen
Oh
in
my
Star
god. When
Wars.
when he was like Alderaan and he's like, oh, I saw that tear. I was like, you are an evil man. He was like, I was on the Death Star, the Death Star the day it
And she's
happened.
like, which one? And I was like,
Oh my, yes.
oh.
I was like, that's the best comeback ever. Like,
and
and then
then he gets shot in the face quick.
she just did not give a fuck about what he was gonna say. He was
Yeah.
like, pop.
Yep.
She didn't even look at Din too. She just like, and he
And then
looked at her
Din's
like,
like, dude, you little warning.
yeah, in his mask, he was like, "I'm never gonna angry." I'm like, "Oh fuck that." Uh,
Then from there,
we have the whole plan of once again Star Wars
yeah,
recipe. Get the
making
plans
get the
going.
plans, and they're planning out their way to get in there. First off, hold on, we forgot one part where we see Bo-Katan and her group
Oh
meet
yes, yes,
Boba
yes,
Fett,
yes,
and
yes,
how they pretty much just keep trashing each other, like, you're not a real Mandalorian, your dad
yeah,
wasn't even a real Mandalorian, you piece
yeah.
of shit, get the fuck out
I
of
love
here.
them. I love how they knew he was a clone right away. Well, obviously they knew who
Oh
Boba Fett
yeah,
was, but like, they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, you're a clone." I'm like, he's technically not a clone, but okay.
He's
He's agency
technically
or
he
anything like
was
that.
Jango Fett's son. I mean, really.
Yeah, yeah, loosely saying that, but yeah.
Um,
But that shit was just funny how she was like the sidekick. Oh, that's funny. The sidekick talks, and he said in Star Wars lingo, that's like the black. That's like the pot calling the kettle
to
black, or
black kind
the
of thing.
kettle
Yeah.
calling the black. But it was just so funny because he said it in a Star Wars thing, and I was just dying. I was laughing so hard because
Yeah.
it made no sense what the he said. But like I was like, oh, he's using that phrase, ha ha ha,
And
Star Wars, ha
her
ha ha,
she
ha
was
ha ha.
obviously played by Sasha Banks, who's a WWE wrestler, and she got to
Diva,
throw
not
some
not
of her.
realistic.
No, not a diva. It's not a diva
I
no
forgot
more.
they got
They're
rid of
not.
that. I
They're
forgot.
women. They're women's champions.
Oh, excuse me.
So she got to throw off some of her moves on him. She did that straight off the top belt
Boop.
suplex, man. Oh,
That
that
shit was
was. I
dope.
was
That
like,
shit was
yeah, they
dope.
finally let her go
I was
loose
like,
on him.
they had to.
They
They
had
had
to
to
have
give
her
her a
do something
moment.
because, like, the first episode she's in, I'm like, I'm expecting like her to
a move, a
DDT
drop
somebody
kick.
or suplex somebody, and they're not letting it happen.
Now, do you think she was in suit when she did that, or do you think how do you think they filmed that?
Yeah, she was in her suit. I mean, she had her helmet
Okay.
off, but she was in there.
Do you think that's all
Yeah, no.
prosthetics? What they're wearing? Yeah, huh? That's all like Din's in that silver suit
Yeah,
all the time.
I mean, it's made out of the same shit that like a
That's
stormtrooper's
true.
outfit's made out of.
That's
Like
true.
it's
That's
made out of
true.
like
So it's probably
plastic.
light. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
light and it's plastic.
They just
Um,
metallicized it.
it's
Got it
just not as
metallicized.
shitty as a stormtroopers. Like the
Yeah.
entire time they're going through this not the Death Star, through Moff Gideon's
Gideon.
ship there, and they're shooting those. I don't know why that's when it hit me. Like, what the fuck are stormtroopers armor made
Armor's
out
made.
of? Like, it has to be made out of what it looks like. It's plastic because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I always thought as a kid, like when they get
Me
shot
too.
and killed, it's hitting like in the crease, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, they happen to get one in
The
on
one
them
shot.
and hit them right here, or hit
Like-
them right here, or in the throat, or somewhere
A
that's
nice
not
armor.
covered. You know, that little like not covered spot, like on the
Yeah.
joints and stuff. So I thought
Like
that's
a-
where they got shot. But then I'm like seeing them
like
like
a
shoot them in the
nice
head, and they're
armor.
dead immediately, and I'm like,
Yeah.
the
I know,
fuck?
I'm-
What the hell?
I think what's yeah, I don't know. It just even in Clone Wars, you're like, wait, so what does the armor do? Is that
Yeah.
even armor or is that just a uniform now? Like
Yeah, like there's nothing. But then they
Oh,
start
it's so
going through
weird.
this thing and killing everybody, and you get the shot of all the women, which people are saying that's better than
Mm.
Marvel.
I didn't because it wasn't forced.
I didn't
and
make that. I
even-
didn't make that connection though.
until I read into it.
Yeah.
Because I'm that much of a nerd. I read into it after the movies, the other reviews. And when
Yeah.
they said that, I was like, oh shit, there was that badass girl moment. But I didn't even
It
like
didn't even connect for me.
because it was that fluid and like they were all four of them are badass as an individual. Plus, once you know Bo-Katan a little bit more, like you realize like, oh, they're just this is just what they do. They just kick ass. But the
Mhm.
way they kicked ass together, I was like, oh, this is.
And it
was-
wasn't
was a
even
beautiful
Bo-Katan
scene.
and her crew. It was also Kara
Right?
was there and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the sniper, I forgot her name, but yeah, it was just like
Oh, yeah, the sniper chick.
It was just really nice.
You better start to. I was like, okay, the sniper chick, whatever. Now it's like, shit, we got to learn about the sniper chick because of what
I
happens
forget her
next.
name, that's why.
Yeah, well, you're
'Cause
gonna
that- she-
you're gonna
she-
learn
she-
it here in the next year. So
Cause she's now in
yes,
Bad Batch. I'm gonna watch it, but.
But,
but no, and then we get to the scene where Din goes up and tries to flush out the Death Troopers. They're all
Yeah.
called Death Troopers, even though they're droids, but the Death Troopers. And then he was struggling with that one, man. I was just like, ooh.
that was some insanity. I loved
And
it.
the blasters were bouncing off. So I was like, is it made out of like soft Beskar, like a little bit of Beskar?
No, I don't think it's made out of Beskar because
just
well,
just a
it
little
can't be
bit,
made
though.
out of Beskar because somebody
Well, no,
comes
that's-
by and
but-
slices
but-
through them.
But that's pure Beskar. Maybe they just use a little bit.
Maybe
Just-
they didn't have enough to like use full pure Beskar. on them.
Yeah, because that's his staff is 100% Beskar and
Yeah.
his suit is 100%. Maybe that's why.
But I
'Cause
like
when he did the staff, he did kill it.
Yeah,
that's
he
why.
did kill it.
Beskar and Beskar.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't really think about that. But what I did like is like he put the flamethrower on there, right? And like
Yeah.
it comes up, and I saw the meme that said, "You just made me look cooler. That's all you did," because the flames are coming out of his neck. It was hilarious, dude. But
That's awesome.
but yeah, those things were insane. Those things were really
Yeah.
crazy cool.
Not
As soon as
kidding.
if they come out with a pop figure, I'm on it.
Oh,
Especially if they make
yeah.
it glow red in the eyes, I'm on it.
Oh, that would be sick.
Tho-
yes.
tho- those
And then
things were very cool.
He kills the one, he goes flush out the rest, and then he goes looks for Grogu, and who do we see but a black saber, dark saber just gloating right in front of
Right,
Grogu, like he was
knew,
combing it,
man.
like he's about to comb him with that knife, man. I
Dude,
was like,
And you get anxiety. I got anxiety. I was like, oh, fuck,
dude,
man,
I was
oh,
like,
man.
what's gonna happen?
Can
Is he
you
gonna
just
drop
turn it
down?
off?
Like,
Just turn it off and talk for a second. Just turn it off for 1 minute and talk.
and
but
they did.
I mean,
I knew he was bullshitting. I knew he was gonna like just let him go. When Moff
yeah,
was
he
like,
wasn't just gonna slice him in half. So
Yeah,
I knew Din had options.
that fight scene was nice. between
But
those two.
I honestly I like there was so much action and so much greatness already, and we're only halfway through the episode.
which is
that I was like, but I thought it was the end. Like I'm thinking, oh wow, this is the end of the episode. Okay, it shows that he'll do anything for Grogu still and all this stuff, and he's just gonna take Grogu and walk away, and then they start the battle of battles. I mean, probably the best battle in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, maybe not in Star Wars, but for sure in Mando, for sure.
For sure in Mando, but what would
Maybe
you
even
say?
the last couple of years, yeah.
Well, last
Best
couple of
battle-
years too.
Best battle is Anakin versus Obi-Wan, Revenge of the Sith. That is
Really?
the best battle.
I
That
would
is
even above
the-
that. I would put Duel of Fates.
Nah, to me that's lower. The reason
Yeah.
because the brothership of Anakin and Obi-Wan, you felt
That's
that
true.
hatred.
That's
You
true.
felt that hatred. You betrayed me. You were that child. You know, just
Yeah.
it was just ugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got
no.
teary-eyed.
Yeah. I guess
know
that
what I
makes
mean?
sense.
It goes that and then Duel of the Fate, and now Din versus Give. Din versus Moff Gideon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
then,
but I mean, that Beskar, we knew it was going to come in handy for this.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I liked
called it
the detail of when that saber hit it and then it
Was
started to
sitting
glow
on it?
red. I was like, that's such an amazing detail to make it heat up.
I thought it was going to cut through at one point. Like,
I did too, and
know.
I'm like, but I didn't think it could. And then what the hell?
It never
So,
did, and that shit was just awesome.
It was awesome. And then he walks in with the dark saber.
Dude, wait, even before that, when he took him alive, and Moff was like, "Oh, you're gonna take me alive. This shall be interesting."
I was
As
like,
somebody
you
who-
fucking idiot.
No, as somebody who knows the history of the dark saber, I was in what Mandalore is. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be." Oh, I already knew. And then he walks in with Moff, and then you can see Bo-Katan's face drop.
Like,
She actually
bro!
said, "What did you do?" She was like, "What did you do?" And he was like,
Yeah.
I defeated him. What do
knowing-
you mean? What did I do? Like,
Obviously, a non Clone Wars watcher and not knowing the history of the dark saber. I was like, and I kind of liked it. I liked watching it like that, not knowing what the dark saber was, because you get that like, what is Bo-Katan fucking talking about? Like,
yeah.
what do you mean? Like, he beat
Didn't
him.
get
Like, that's what you
reaction.
wanted. You wanted to kill him. That's what you asked for. You wanted to kill him.
No. Yeah. She wanted to defeat him. Not
Yeah,
she didn't want him.
She didn't say anything about that. She said
know,
she
but-
wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
And
she
now we
wanted-
know why she wanted to kill him is to get the Darksaber back, obviously. But
could only win it in battle.
only win it in battle. But it's like people are bashing her for that because
Hey,
she talked to Jen. Oh, these religious things that you do, not taking off your helmet and shit like that, like these old
Yeah.
rules that you don't you're following,
That's
and then they're like,
well,
have it.
I-
I concede, just take it, whatever. So
No,
I honestly.
well, I guess it's because it's the Death Watch that she's saying that, and she doesn't like the Death Watch.
That's
'cause
true.
She's not.
That's
she doesn't see
true.
them as true Mandalorians, so that's why. Where she
But
sees
she
herself
but
as a
she
true
says
Mandalorian.
these old rules.
Yeah,
which-
old rules because back
but
in the
that's-
day,
The Dark
It used
Watch
to
were the
be-
rulers. Is that what she's trying to say? I guess.
yeah, back to like when Mandalore first started, the race of Mandalorians were soldiers and warriors. And
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
Death Watch became.
And then
she's more
the
with her
Death
sister,
Watch,
like,
and then
peacetime.
I have started to watch the Clone Wars officially, but
I
I know that
can't-
they send the Death Watch and the soldiers to the moon
yeah.
of Mandalore to live there. But it's like, just take it. Like, he just take it. Here, you can just punch me.
Yeah.
You want the first hit, and then I'll just give it to you. Like,
But
I
it's
have this
pride.
feeling. I have this. It might be pride, but I have this feeling that deep down inside, she knew that this was a possibility, and she's somewhat okay with Din being the ruler of Mandalore, because I think she sees it as, one, he's on my side. He's kind of in my pocket a little bit. He's a good guy. He obviously
His suit is made out of Beskar. Like,
his suit's made
completely.
out of pure Beskar, not Meskar. Beskar. He obviously is trying to do good. Like, he's after the Empire. He's doing what they want. And he's got that Death Watch but he also has the new Mandalore rule. Like, he has new and old together that she thinks could maybe be good for Mandalore. So she's like, okay, I don't mind that Din is going to be the ruler of Mandalore. Okay, so
That's interesting.
off of that now, the Darksaber, Bo-Katan's not too happy about that, but in my theory,
and we
she's
see an
okay with it.
incoming of what 25, 24 maybe.
Oh, of the Death Troopers, yes.
The
yes.
Death Troopers coming in back into the ship because
And,
Din
like-
flushed them out, but they're all droids. So they
Okay,
just
so
flew
when
back-
this is happening, I'm like, oh shit, Din's gonna turn on the fucking Darksaber and go fucking crazy on these fools, and I'm
I
like,
thought
this is gonna be the
same.
greatest ending
I thought
to the
same.
Mandalorian ever.
Fucking staff in one hand, blade in the next.
Oh, that'd be
fucking
just
going,
like dual wielding this shit. It would have been crazy. It would have been awesome. But that's not it. One lone X-wing flies
Wait.
in.
Nah, okay, it's in the car. You can't bring it out. I should have brought it out. I have a little X-wing there. I was gonna go.
The X-wing pulls in, and Kara goes, "Oh, an X-wing, great. Now we're saved."
Oh, little X-wing.
Which I love the one where it's she goes, "Oh, great, an X-wing, we're saved," and then it's Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he goes, ha, "Dumb bitch." So the X-wing comes in, and throughout this entire time,
I did not.
I
I thought it was Ahsoka.
that would have maybe made sense, but immediately my girlfriend goes, "Wait, Yoda called a Jedi, didn't he?" And I go, "Oh shit. Oh shit." Well, that was even before the X-Wing showed up. She said that. And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
So then X-Wing pulls up, and I go, "Man, where'd Cal get this X-Wing at?" Immediately I was like, "Man, Cal got an X-Wing. Cool. All right. So let's see Cal come through." And so then he comes out of there, starts up his green lightsaber. I'm like, "Man, Cal got a green lightsaber too. That's insane." The entire time I keep talking myself into Cal being there.
When I saw the green saber, that's what gave it away, because Cal saber's blue, and it.
But I think Cal could have changed it up. I mean, you customized the saber.
That's only in the game. That's only in the game.
So I was
like the green saber and then the hilt style is what gave it away.
Well, I didn't even see the hilt style, but what gave it away for me is that there's one black glove on his hand, and I'm like, okay,
the look of the saber.
It's Luke. Also, how the hell did Luke see while fighting those? Like, it had to have been like this. Look, see, you had to have been looking at everybody like this.
You're a Jedi.
I guess you're a Jedi, so you just sense everything.
You see with the Force.
So he's just like, I mean, one of the greatest Luke lightsaber scenes for sure. I didn't even think about it until we talked about it. Is that was the first time we saw Luke like really go ham. Like he went
Luke,
crazy.
Be a Jedi Knight, Jedi Master. Jedi Master, you could probably say at this point.
Yeah.
Jedi Knight, I'm going to Jedi Master. But he kicked ass. And it was, I don't know how many times I rewatched that scene that night. Like maybe like 6 times back to back.
Yeah. Rewind.
Rewind, and then like I think I had a tear coming down my face of just pure joy.
It was
I'm getting
great.
emotional thinking about it. Like I turned into that 8-year-old boy that just finished Star Wars episode 2. No, I finished The Phantom Menace, and then someone told me there was 3 more Star Wars, and then I watched the originals
New Hope,
that
Empire.
same day, all 3 back to back, and like I was just so amazed about what Star Wars was now. Seeing Luke again, older but kicking ass.
That Luke, the original trilogy Luke.
Yeah, seeing that Luke from here, that's how I'm imagining it, and seeing him kick ass just put tears to my eyes, man.
It was amazing.
Tear joy.
He comes in, and it's weird because I thought at this point it's weird that he's like now slowly taking the hood back. Like, dude, we already know who you are. Just go ahead.
I love how like he moves his rope to the side, puts his hilt, put the thing, the saber on so you can see the hilt, so it's for sure him. Puts his robe back and then does that slow like
reveal.
Hey guys, like
what's going on, everybody? And then
It asked the
that's who
dumbest
get-
question after seeing him kick ass. After seeing Ahsoka
Are you
do
a
the same
Jedi?
fucking thing. Are you a Jedi? I don't know. I just got
No,
to. Are you a Jedi?
I just wish Luke
Like-
would be like, "No, dumbass, I'm not." No, I just found this lightsaber floating out in space, grabbed it, and decided to come help your ass, dumbass. You
Yeah,
just
get
saw
it right,
you
right?
just saw Grogu call somebody like 2 weeks ago. Who the fuck do you think it is?
And you're trying to interrupt that call so many times.
And like honestly, even like at this point, Luke's like a major name in the galaxy for what he's done with
Yeah.
he blew up the fucking Death Star, and you don't know who that is.
Oh, well,
Both
he
Death
just blew
Stars.
up the first
Well,
one,
first
yeah.
one and the second one blew up.
He helped,
Whatever.
yeah.
He helped with that one. But he's
Yeah,
and he
he helped with that one.
defeated Darth Vader
And Palpatine.
and Palpatine. So
And
you're
Emperor.
telling me he's such a big name? I mean, I guess I could get that like
But not a lot of people knew.
that. Well,
Maybe
not
they
that,
just
that
knew that the
Mando
Death Star
didn't
blew
know.
up.
That I feel like Mando's this guy who like doesn't really keep up with the news. He's like that guy that you'd talk to and you'd be like, "Oh, I don't own a television." He'd be like that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, you're right, because he was driving a pre-Empire shit, so that shit was super old. That's why everyone's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, he ain't driving it no more. That kind of debunks my theory of the ship thing, though. With what happens at the end of
Boba
this
giving
episode.
him his ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how Boba dropped him off and then just dipped. We forgot to talk about that. He was like, all right, bye, you guys.
Well, that's a good thing, because if he would have saw Luke, that's like the meme too. Is the
That would've been
like
interesting.
they're driving both on the other side of the road,
They're
and
like-
it's like, the fuck. I thought you fell into the Sarlacc pit. What the? But yeah, Boba dropped him off. Where the fuck did Boba go?
Boba just dipped. He went to Tatooine. He was just like,
You think he went to go like kind of like went to Tatooine to kind of go like scope shit out for what's gonna happen later?
No, I think he just went straight there. He's like, all right, I dropped you off. You guys.
No,
fucking
he
get-"
couldn't have, because Sniper Lady's
Oh,
with
you're
him.
right. He
So
was
this
just
would've
like
had to have been
chilling.
later.
So he probably dipped and then was like just floating around there.
Like went to Intergalactic In and Out, picked up a burger.
Picked up a burger. Yeah, dude, you said that like it later in my brain. Yeah, like, he got a double. The line was so long, that's why he wasn't there for the action. He's like, "Fuck, I'm
Exactly.
supposed to be there. I'm late. Come on, like
Gotta
Jesus."
go pick
And
these
then
motherfuckers up.
he comes back. Everybody was like, "It's like they're all beat up and shit." He's like, "What did I miss?" They're like, "Son of a bitch."
He takes a bite, and they're like, "Did you get any for us?" And he's like,
No. He already ate it on the way back.
I
and
thought
shit,
you
he's
guys
so
were gonna
hungry.
die,
He had stains.
so-
He has stains on his armor. They're like, "Did you guys get us something?" He's like,
Sorry.
About
no,
that.
I didn't.
The line was too long." Like,
I didn't have enough credits for everybody. Sorry. Just got this. I just got this armor redid. You think I got money to buy
Repainted,
all you
right?
guys stuff? Come on.
You know how much it costs.
Takes a sip out of his milkshake. Like,
It's blue. The blue milk. Oh fuck!
Oh,
Star Wars
God,
jokes, people.
man.
Star Wars jokes.
all right.
Yeah, fucking. I just think the whole, but the animation kind of threw me off. The
Yeah.
CGI, but after rewatching it, I was like, you know what, I'm okay.
It's
with it because
okay. It's a
Mark,
little
it was
weird.
Mark Hamill behind the scene. It was kind of weird.
Here's
but-
the thing that I have a bone to pick with that a little bit, a mini bone to pick, if you will, for this episode. We've had this digital reconstruction of Ed face with Leia in Rogue One, and it was
Yeah,
great.
I was-
It was like
but-
almost like
But
perfect.
We also got
Moff
General
Tarkin.
Moff Tarkin.
Grand
That
Moff
didn't-
Tarkin.
That didn't look that good.
That looked okay. It did make me always think about the villain from Ratatouille a little
Mhm.
bit. And then we've got Luke and Leia in what was that, Last Skywalker?
Rise
Yeah.
of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, when they're training together as children,
Yeah.
which isn't too bad. But my girlfriend brought up a good point. Those were all done in very dark scenes.
Is that why you think it?
And
Was
this
it
one
bad?
was lit up, and it's like the body and the light of the face are kind of different, and that's what it's wrong
Yeah.
off.
The top lip wasn't moving as much. It was like
Yeah,
it was like this the whole
I would
time.
like to see. I don't know if this could happen. I mean, it obviously can happen, but I'd like to see if Disney does this. They're like, damn, dude.
Redo it.
Everybody's saying that this was almost perfect except for that one part. Because I mean, that is
Mm-hmm.
the big census of everything on the internet, is that it's that little bit that they've gone back and they've re-edited a lot of stuff of other things. So maybe they come back and they remaster that face later to make it look a little bit better. Give us a little
Or
treat before season 3.
or what if they redo that scene? I guess it would.
Well,
Put Sebastian
yes,
Stan.
put Stans in there, man. I'm totally down for Stans
I
being
would
in
be
there.
okay with that.
I'm totally down for Stans.
Is
being
he?
in there.
Is he? So is he actually going to be Luke Skywalker? Or is that rumored?
Well, that's rumor because I don't see
Rumor?
where's that happening.
Uh, I say Book of Boba. I say we didn't.
Look
get
up
to
where's
the
he gonna
Mandalorian
show up
part
in
yet.
Book of Boba?
You might here and there the Ahsoka show maybe.
A
Here
Ahsoka
and
show,
there.
maybe, because I have a theory about that, and we'll talk about that
Okay,
in
we get
my
to end of
theories section when we're done with this.
Yeah. Yes. And
We're
then,
still
okay,
getting
then-
ahead of ourselves just by saying Book of Boba, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I threw up. I fucked up. I'm gonna go back the end credits because it's so funny. Disney is doing the Marvel thing after the credits. Watch something.
Which I mean
Still
hasn't.
laughing when I saw
You
that.
know what everybody was complaining about is that we didn't get concept art. Everybody, I mean, I like sitting there and listening to that
Yeah, it
that
puts us at the
theme
end of the
song
last
and
season.
watching that
Yeah.
the artwork go by. I enjoy that. So it wasn't
No,
there.
that's
I
what you
understand.
meant. Yeah, but because come on,
And
they're doing
the way
Marvel
he
treatment.
took the way the composer, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. The composer took the Mando theme song, that that, and he made it into its own like epicness, remixed amazingness. Was
At
like,
the end of that credit.
oh, and then I was watching it, and then for some reason, I think my girlfriend was like, "Oh, hey, we have to stay around for after the credits." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, that's weird." I
thought
don't know what
the.
the. Oh no, that. Yep, sorry, it was you. It was you. Sorry.
I was like, I am your girlfriend.
It was you. You told me, "Hey, no, but you gotta stick around for after the credits."
Yeah,
So-
because they were doing the Marvel treatment.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, what's this? Like, what could it be? Like, they land wherever the hell Luke had his shit, and they're getting off the ship to go train, or what? Like, that's so weird. So,
see your boy.
then you see my favorite character, which now it's very. This is sad
so
for me.
sad.
It's a happy, sad moment on this part. This is legit my favorite Star Wars character. Bib Fortuna has been my favorite ever since the fat. Everybody's gotten fat. Boba
Yeah.
Fett got fat.
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna got fat. They
And
all
you
want.
love
They all
eating.
wanted. I think they all wanted to take on the form of Jabba. That's what it is.
Jabba
They all wanted to take on that form.
Yeah.
So-
So now, do you call it Bib Fortuna's palace, or is it still Jabba's palace? Like,
It's Bib Fortuna. Well, now it's not Bib Fortuna's palace.
Well, yeah.
Do you think
'cause
that
some-
where they were sitting and that the blue chick was chained up right there, right? You think that's
Yeah.
the iconic place where Leia was
Yep.
chained up in that slave suit, huh? So I was like, oh man, that's pretty crazy.
I thought that was awesome.
It was
callback.
really great callback. That whole scene was just a great callback.
With the pig people.
Yeah.
The giant pig monsters. That shit
Yeah,
was
I thought
beautiful.
when I saw them, I'm like, why are they going back to that fight in the first episode? You know, that like boxing
Oh,
match
yeah,
that they
yeah,
had?
yeah.
Those are those two guys. And I'm like, why are they going back there? That's weird. And then Bib Fortuna shows up and I'm like,
Yeah,
Bib,
when I
what the
saw-
fuck's up with
When I
Bib?
saw them, I thought they were going to do something with like the hunt ish, because I saw the pigs. I was oh, that's cool. But yeah, seeing the sniper come down and just shoot all the pig people and
Just
then
take 'em
release
all
the-
out.
and
Then
then release
coming
the
down
girl
the
from
stairs,
training.
you see that shadow,
the
and I'm like,
shadow.
what the fuck's Bib? What the fuck does Din have to do anything with Bib Fortuna? But
And I
then
love
in
the
the shadow, I
walks.
see the little antenna, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, it all
Did you-
just kind of came together in my head of what's going on right now.
Did you notice every time they took a step down, it was like that old western, that like chain, that
Chink,
that
chink,
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 chink, yeah, like,
yeah. And
uh,
I was like, Oh,
Yo, when she stand over the
oh,
grate, I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure they got another monster. Why would you stand right there? Like
oh yeah.
the Ren card. Like I'm pretty sure they got another Ren card. Like, why would
um,
you stand there?
so he shoots Bib, and I cry one fateful tear from my boy Bib. And so then he just like throws him off onto the side. He takes his
Said
sit on
nothing.
his throne,
We
and
thought you were alive. We thought you were dead.
sniper chick just sitting there with her blue milk, like what's up, fool?
No, that was blue
Ready to
drink. That was a blue milk.
blue check, just on his
she,
right hand. Did you notice it was right at his right hand?
yeah, she was
Right hand man.
she
Man.
grabbed that blue drink, look back was like, I'm gonna like it here. And I love how he sat down with the gun and everything, just like a badass boss. Like he like you got to go with your theory. I don't want to steal your glory, but you got to
Okay,
talk about that because
so my theory for Book of Boba, well, and then it pops up Book of Boba coming December 2021.
because taking a break from season 3 of Mandalorian.
I don't think we are. The
You don't think
theories
so?
the theories right now is that Mando obviously ended at the end of December, so I think we're gonna get Mando season 3 about October, beginning of October,
You know what?
end
You're
of
right, 'cause
October. So it's gonna start a little bit earlier than it did this year. Then it's
okay.
gonna cut out. Din's story stops. Boba's
Then
story
Book of Boba.
starts, and then we just going through there.
I mean, okay. I did hear that Book of Boba is supposed to be a 6-parter anyway, so
I
they're just gonna be
I don't think they're gonna. This thing's gonna shit money just like Din shit money. So it's
the adults are gonna be on
they're gonna pay
Mandalorian
money. Disney's gonna shit out money, and we're gonna get Book of Boba's gonna go on for a while.
I
He's
wanna
gonna
get a
have
helmet.
quite a lot of chapters. People did bring up the fact that the Mandalorian is kind of the Book of Din, as it is chapters. There's chapters 1 through now 16.
16.
16. So then there's the Book of Boba, which will also be starting off with chapter 1, obviously, all the way
No,
on to
this
chapter
was the Book
whatever.
of the Child.
Was it the Book of the? Well, it's the Book of the Mandalorian.
That's true. That's true.
And you had a theory at some point that, well, we all had this theory, but you brought up this point, is that the Book of Boba is taking over the Book of Din. So
Oh, yeah.
season 3 was going to be Boba Fett. Kind of a little bit of a depressing thought because we've all grown to love Din.
It wasn't gonna be like he was done with. I was just gonna be like they're gonna take a break.
They're gonna take a
that
break from
story.
him, and then season 4 will come back to Din. But then that's also kind of weird. Obviously that's not the fact. Disney has come out. Book of Boba Fett is going to be its own standalone series. But you had brought up, well, it's called The Mandalorian. It could take over any Mandalorian story, especially Boba Fett. But if there's anything we've learned, Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian. His father was a Mandalorian, and his father wasn't really even that much of a Mandalorian. So that doesn't make sense. But I understand that but it's the Mandalorian because Din is the Mandalorian. He's the Mandalorian.
I guess so. But I feel like they could do Bo-Katan story. They could do more stories.
I think we're going to get a little bit of Bo-Katan's story through Din now that that's going to be a part of the thing. I think we're going to have...
'Cause that was a big...
I think Bo-Katan's going to be a very big part in season 3. I really do.
Yeah.
But let me go back to Book of Boba and give my theory on what Book of Boba could be. Book of Boba, not really my original thought. Obviously, I've read other places online about this. Is we've got Rogue One, that's more of a spy story kind of thing. Then we've got The Mandalorian, which is a Western. I think Book of Boba is going to be more of a Sopranos, Godfather, gangster type thing.
You know what? That actually makes sense because Han Solo, you could see of it as a heist movie.
Yeah, you could. Oh, I didn't. Yeah,
that's,
I forget about
right
Solo. Solo's
Me too.
Solo's up there after I've watched it a couple more times, but it's not the best Star Wars movie. But it's all right.
It's hard to watch.
It's not hard to watch. Honestly, go back and watch one more time. I'm telling you, I watched it once or twice, and I was like, I don't know about this.
I watched it in the mindset
of like,
this isn't Harrison Ford being.
And you got to take that out of your mind. You got to take that out of your mind and just give it another shot. I'm telling you.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
take it more as this is the story of the Millennium
How you
Falcon.
Okay.
But
But that's
I,
very
I
interesting.
I would like, you know, we have so many bounty hunters and
Yeah.
seedy underbelly villains of the Star Wars
This
universe. We got I'd
bounty
love to
hunters,
see
yeah.
Cad Bane, something like that.
Someone's been watching Clone Wars.
Yeah, and Hondo would be great if he showed up in there.
You know who that is now.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I want to talk about that real quick.
Yes.
So
In Disney.
before I watched Clone Wars, when I rode the ride, the
Yes.
Millennium Falcon ride, I was like, that's weird. They just came up with a new character for this ride. And then now that I've watched it, I own that pop figure and I've owned it since I went to Disneyland. And I
Hey,
was
you never
like,
knew who
oh,
he
now
was,
I
though.
know who this is, and this is really great. But
So, how do you think my first time when I went to Star Wars Land?
I know.
Was
This
amazed,
is
and
so.
I saw him, I was like,
I almost don't want to watch the Clone Wars because I want this different perspective of somebody who's watched the Clone Wars and someone who hasn't watched the Clone Wars. But
no,
I feel like
I'm
I
sorry.
need to
Yeah.
get caught up on Clone Wars. And I need to get caught up on Rebels before Ahsoka comes out, or I'm gonna be lost
Yeah.
as shit.
Yeah,
So I have to get in on
Plus,
this stuff.
Squad Roger might be because after Rebels, it's just gonna be like a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. I was very resentful from watching Rebels because of the animation style, but I
Okay.
like it.
So now my season 3 prediction. So what we had saw there, this is a really long episode, by the way. I just want everybody to know that if you've made it this far, you're a true fan. But we get Bo-Katan looking at Boba Fett with the Darksaber. I think that, you know, I've gone into it that I think she sees that as like the reason she didn't want to take that Darksaber is that she saw it as he's not the worst choice. He's not the worst choice. I think this is actually not that bad of an idea. I think she had seen that this could happen. He's obviously going to go for Baby Yoda. There's the chance that Gideon's at Baby Yoda. There's a chance that they battle. There's a chance that he wins it. I mean, it's just a chance I'm willing to take to help him out and possibly getting the Darksaber my way. So I think Bo-Katan saw that. She had that feeling that could happen. And if that did happen, that's not the worst option.
I mean, you do bring a good point, because why didn't they go and help? They saw that.
Well, because he said he wanted to go on his own, and they respected that, which is fine.
I guess. But
if she really wanted that Darksaber, she would have been hiding on the next hallway, ready to come out and pop him.
Take the final blow, like he's mine type bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The fact that Moff Gideon's still going to be on the cockpit, come on, seriously.
Yeah.
Have you not watched a Star Wars movie? But
this not happened to you before. Like,
obviously, season 3. I mean, Din had 2 missions after season 1. He had 1 mission to get Baby Yoda, the child Grogu, where he needed to go, to a Jedi to get properly trained for what he needed to do. Din's completed that quest. And now the second one is to find the Mandalore and know his people. The Mandalorian people. His kind. He wants to know his kind. That's why he went and got Boba's armor in the first episode or second episode, whatever, to go get it, because that was his ticket to find where the Mandalorian came from. So that's his next quest. Now he has the Darksaber, and he got a crash course in what the hell it means to be a Mandalore. With Bo-Katan and everything, he did start to see that. Now he's the ruler of Mandalore because he has the Darksaber.
The right owner, yeah.
So I think the next season is him going to Mandalore, taking back the throne of Mandalore, because obviously Gideon wasn't running shit. So somebody's got to be there, and he's going to go there, and we're going to find out more about what Mandalore is now. Obviously, we knew a little bit more about Mandalore in Clone Wars, since I've started watching it. We know a little bit more Mandalore there, so who's running Mandalore? What's Mandalore even like right now? And then I think Din's going to go there and help. Obviously, he has leadership abilities. I mean, he's been leading a ragtag team.
There's only one person I could think of that can be ruling it right now, but I don't want to give spoilers to what you're going to see in the Clone Wars. That's something just like over here, like, oh, I think I know. It's a very big villain that we all know and love, and that's when I'm like, oh, that would be interesting, but I doubt they would do that. But it would be.
And then I think it's gonna be like him. It's gonna kind of become like this weird, like almost. I don't want to say it. It's gonna be like a West Wing kind of show where it's gonna be him like taking care of the day to day of Mandalore life and
Yeah.
who do we go with and what do we do? Like running little missions like that, and then like every once in a while, like every few episodes, somebody's gonna come and challenge him for the dark saber, and there's gonna be like an epic battle or something like that. I kind of feel like that's what's gonna happen. I kind of feel
We'll
like there
see.
could be the possible that they get to Mandalore and Bo-Katan's
the
like,
shit.
fuck you, and now I'm gonna fuck you up, and then they
Kicks him in the back.
kicks him, does something, takes the dark saber, and she rules. And then we get a little bit of what Mandalore's like and what the Mandalorian people are like. He completes that quest, and then like there's got to be something to where Grogu comes back.
I don't think for a long time. Maybe like it's
But-
gonna fast forward. Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
maybe.
What if it does this? What if it like first two episodes, season 3, they go to Mandalore. Bo-Katan says, "You know what? You are the actual rightful owner, leader, because you won the fight in fair contest. I'll be on your side to help you through Mandalore." 15 years later, that's technically
He loses
you-
the saber. He's got to
No,
go pick up his kid from school.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I was gonna say 15 years later, we know what happened with Luke and Ben. Grogu actually comes back to find Din. Grogu's an older Yoda type character.
Uh-huh.
Din is like this defeated ex ruler of Mandalore. I don't know, something like that. I wish there has to be some type of fast forward. So
Fast forward to that because like
Adult
we
type
gotta see Grogu again. Like, but here's my other theory. I've got a lot of theories after this and after all the announcements of shows. It's like your brain just goes insane. So
back Star Wars.
Ahsoka, that show.
That's gonna be a good.
It's
show.
gonna be a good show. I want to
Dave
see
Filoni.
this. I don't know if it'll happen, but Grogu through the Force tells Luke, "Hey, I met this chick named Ahsoka. She was cool and shit. Maybe you could train her too." Something like that. And then Luke goes, "You know what? I know her. My father through the Force has told me about her.
Oh, that would make.
I need her to help train."
That would make me cry because when you find out what happens in Rebels with this whole world in between worlds not bullshit, but concept that Star Wars is trying to introduce, that would be fascinating.
And then so he goes and he tracks down Ahsoka and says, "Hey, my father helped train you. Can you help me train others?" And then but the thing is she obviously is against training people, but maybe
she's only against it because she doesn't know how, she was never trained. She's technically still a Padawan. She never became a Jedi Knight.
Yeah, so maybe like that's him going to her, and then it kind of ties in a little bit, and that now Grogu isn't in Mandalorian, he's in Ahsoka, something like that. But I also have another theory about Ahsoka, about it's more of a tie-in to Rebels where we get Thrawn and Ezra in that whole thing, and not really. It could go either way. I mean, everything could just be fucking crazy from now on with what they've done with this last episode.
Yeah, I think this last episode of Mandalorian shows that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni both single-handedly brought back Star Wars, and they're trying to make justice what is the shittiest movies that Disney executives came up with, and I think that's probably what happened. Those movies were so shit. They looked at Favreau and was like, "Can you help us?"
Hey, remember when you launched Marvel and all that shit? Can you come do that for Star Wars real quick?
Yeah, I think that's what the conversation was like. Can you please help us do what you did for Marvel? And when he was like, "Okay, yeah, but it's not gonna be no fucking movies because I'm not gonna be doing that."
I think TV is the future, and we're gonna do the
streaming
thing.
You guys just did Disney Plus. Let's do this, and then because if you watch the gallery and they made all that stuff for season 1 for the background, like the see that giant screen that they use and the CGI aspect of it is fucking immense of crazy because they're in the world technically because of that big ass almost 360 screen that they have, and they got the heat lamps and everything to make it the environment seem real. Then they got the real actual props around it, so it's just like, oh, drawing proud from Dave Filoni. You're going to appreciate Dave Filoni a lot the last season of Clone Wars. The last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, what you felt now, you're going to feel in those 4 episodes. I'll let you know right now.
Can't wait. But I think that's it for this week. Christoph,
so Star
we're
Wars
good?
talk, but hey.
All right. I mean, yep. Thanks for sticking around on this one, guys. We like to keep them short, but this was too much to talk about, man. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, do all the goodies. Thank you, and bye.